Hey everybody. This paper was published today, and it's been so mind-blowing that I essentially took time to read through the paper multiple times, everything through it, dissect it, and then now I'm here to make this video of Jarvis 1 open world multitask agents with memory augmented multimodal language models. The title doesn't do the paper a lot of justice just with the title alone, but essentially what this model is the very first self-improving model, which puts us very close towards essentially like ASI, right? Like AI that can build itself. And so this is like kind of generation one of that, if you want to call it that. And so I think that like there will be an important distinction. I think that like as people often do, I think the goalposts are going to be moved on this, and then I'll get into that in a second. But I think that there is a distinction to make with regards towards this model's ability to augment itself and to be able to self-improve. It can 100% self-improve, but it does not self-improve in the same way that a human does, and I think that's where the goalpost will move to. But so going through the paper, essentially we have the abstract and we have the model, and then so I've been paying a lot of attention to these general papers that have come out along these lines, and like they've all been out of China. This particular paper is a joint effort out of China as well as UC Berkeley, and then like a huge joint effort. But the big thing to note with this is that it's based off of like Minecraft and Minecraft building. So this is all like reinforcement learning based. And then it's essentially like giving the model tools and adapting it. And I've made a few prior videos like of models that have kind of like built on this and before, if you look at my prior videos. But no model has been able to directly do this, which is 100% self-improvement over epochs. Like, and they make it very clear here, right? Like, so you have epoch 1, epoch 2, and epoch 3. And then essentially it's able to go through and generate the tasks and generate the tasks better and better each time that it goes through just on its own. And then if you go through essentially the video here of, this is the video of how it prompts itself. So I'll start it here. You can see, and this is it prompting itself. Prompt, chop down the tree. It's prompting itself. Prompt, craft planks. That's its own prompt. Prompt, craft crafting table. It's doing that itself. Craft chest. The model is telling itself to do this stuff, right? But it's just utilizing it through prompts. And then so it's going through, crafting the chest. This is again the model going through and doing these efforts and these things throughout Minecraft. And then it's interesting, like, so if you look through all of the papers with regards towards Minecraft and around this, there's a paper that struck my eye. I think it was back in like April or so, where essentially it was a paper out of China, and the Chinese researchers, they very explicitly stated that if they can invent a model that can solve all of the solve essentially Minecraft, and the simulated world of Minecraft, that essentially if the model can solve a simulated world of Minecraft, that it can do the same thing in the real world. And that's been their hypothesis ever since then. So this is the first model that has that they've actually done that with. So this model can self-improve in a simulated world. So the next logical step is that this model can self-improve in the real world. And so I'm assuming that's where these studies will go next with this. To me, overall, this is just a very interesting discussion, interesting paper, and interesting model overall. And then so the question the goalpost moving argument that I made earlier, right? Like, how are people going to move the goalpost on this? So to me, it's going to be a very simple and straightforward argument. No one can question that this model self-improves. The difference is that this, and I think it's a good difference, right? This model does not. This model only self-improves when it needs to. It doesn't self-improve when it wants to, and I think that's a very important distinction to make within this, right? Because this model can go through and it can improve itself and it can build itself, but it doesn't have an innate desire to do so. Like it has a 0% innate desire to do so. In the Minecraft world, it's going through and then it plays a game, right? And then it's given the clear goal, like make your way through Minecraft. And then so it goes through that, and then based off of that goal, that's what it utilizes to improve itself and to make improvements. And so that's how any model, self-improving model, is going to operate along these lines. And I think that's very clear and important for a few reasons. I think the first reason is like that fear mechanism that a lot of people have, right? Like if you give a model self-improvement, all of a sudden it's just going to start like improving like itself and like all like, it's going to make an army, right? Like it won't want to make an army. Like it won't want to heal itself. It won't want to make itself better unless there's an obstacle that it runs into in which it would need to do that and think about that. Like that's like the model. There's 0% ambition built into these models, even with these types of things and being able to solve that, right? So like I think that's a it's an important question to answer, and a research question that has been open for a while, and then to me it's like completely solved at this point, which is ambition separate from like intelligence and other parts of intelligence? And the answer is yes. Like ambition is its own thing, and AI models very clearly they don't have it. And even like models like this will very clearly illustrate it, that it's only self-improving when it runs into a situation where it needs to. And that's what triggers the self-improvement. Like there's no like, ambition mechanism within the model overall. And then so that's important for the fear mechanism, and then that's also important scientifically, because that means that these models are going to self-improve in any way that a human tells them to self-improve, and that's the bottom line, right? So if you want to have that fear mechanism around these things, fear the humans. And that's, I mean, that's my kind of approach and opinion to all of this as it comes out. Like no one's been able to stop this technology. It's going to continue to progress along these lines, and it's going to continue to progress to be this way, and it's going to continue to progress what it is. The only variable within that is the human variable and the human element, and what happens there. And then so, how are people going to respond to that? I don't know. Like I personally have fears around that, because I like, you know, it's just so my fears are based off of that rather than like kind of like witchcraft or like mythical fears. But so if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. I'll leave the link to the paper as well as the GitHub repository in the description of this video. Thank you very much.